Mom's story about the connection between the Psalms of David and Hava Nagila. I asked my mother how the melody of the famous song Hava Nagila is connected with the ancient Psalms of David. My mother looked at me with a soft smile, as if centuries of history and memories were reflected in her eyes. "Son," she began, "music is a bridge between past generations and the present. Even if the melody does not have the direct notes of the Psalms of David, it carries the same joy that King David felt when he sang praises to the Almighty. The words Hava Nagila translate as, 'Let us rejoice,' and this joy is an echo of the ancient songs that once sounded in Jerusalem." I thought about it. Every time this song plays, the room fills with warmth, as if someone opens the windows on a summer morning. People dance, sing, holding hands. Even strangers become friends, united by this melody. The Psalms of David, Mom continued, often talk about gratitude, about rejoicing and singing. For example, Psalm 118 says, "This is the day that the Lord has made, let us rejoice and be glad in it." These words formed the basis of Hava Nagila. And although the music was written much later, its spirit is permeated with ancient joy and hope. I listened attentively, and in my head, like background music, familiar motives sounded. It turns out that what unites Hava Nagila and the Psalms of David is not so much the notes themselves, but the eternal human striving for light, joy, and gratitude. Mom took my hand and quietly sang, "Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila." Her voice was soft, but filled with power. I felt like this simple song contained an entire world. A world where the destinies of nations and the lines of ancient psalms meet in a single impulse to sing about the joy of life. "Every time you hear these tunes," my mother said, "remember, we are not just singing, we are continuing a 1,000-year tradition of giving thanks and rejoicing, like David once did." I looked at my mother and understood, Hava Nagila is not just a song. It is a call to joy, a bridge between the past and the future, the light that we carry through the centuries. Hava Nagila is more than just a song. It is a symbol of joy, hope, and unity that has become an integral part of Jewish and world culture. Hearing these recognizable tunes, it seems that time stands still, and hearts are filled with bright feelings. But few people think about how this song appeared, what meanings its creators put into it, and why it is still heard at holidays and meetings around the world. The origins of Hava Nagila go back to ancient times, to the Hasidic communities of Eastern Europe. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Jewish culture in the territories that were part of the Russian Empire, Poland, and Austria-Hungary was distinguished by the richness of its musical traditions. A special place was occupied by the so-called nigunim, spiritual chants based on folk motifs, performed in synagogues and at family celebrations. It was believed that the melody of the future Hava Nagila was born from such a nigun, which was common among the Hasidim of Bukovina, a region on the border of modern Romania and Ukraine. The melody was solemn, but at the same time surprisingly light, calling for joy, uniting everyone who heard it. A key role in the history of the song was played by Abraham Zvi Idelson, a musicologist, composer, and passionate enthusiast of the Jewish national revival. Born in Latvia, he studied in Europe, but moved to Jerusalem in the early 20th century, where he began collecting and studying Jewish melodies from around the world. Idelson dreamed of creating a new national repertoire that would unite Jews from different countries around common values, stories, and dreams. His work involved not only collecting folklore, but also adapting and updating traditional melodies so that they would sound in a new reality. The years of World War I and the changes that followed were a time of hope and new challenges for Jewish communities in the Middle East. In 1917, British troops led by General Allenby occupied Ottoman Palestine, and a year later, Jewish units participated in the capture of Beersheba. This victory became a symbol of a new stage in the history of the Jewish people, strengthening hope for the revival of their land and cultural identity. In the wake of these events, in 1918, Abraham Zvi Idelson wrote words filled with bright feelings, "Hava Nagila, Hava Nizmeka, let us rejoice, let us be glad." He adapted the Hasidic melody, filling it with a modern meaning. The new song quickly became popular in Jerusalem and beyond, turning into an unofficial anthem of celebration and unity. The lyrics to Hava Nagila are simple and clear. They call on people to rejoice and exult, forgetting about difficulties for a while. There is great power in this simplicity. The song unites people regardless of age, origin, and views. It is performed at weddings, bar mitzvahs, public holidays, sporting and state events. Main lines: Hava Nagila, let's rejoice. Ahava Nizmeka, let's have fun. Ayura Achim Bilev Samek, let's awaken, brothers, joyful hearts. The symbolism of the song is closely connected with the ideas of national unity, overcoming fear and uncertainty through a joint celebration of life. In the 1920s and 1930s, Jewish immigrants took Hava Nagila to Europe, America, Argentina, Australia. In every corner of the planet where the Jewish diaspora appeared, the song became part of local holidays and rituals. Over time, it began to be performed not only in Hebrew, but also in other languages. In the second half of the 20th century, Hava Nagila became a real international hit. It was recorded and performed by artists such as Harry Belafonte, Connie Francis, Dalida, Glenn Miller, and even the Beatles during rehearsals. The song was included in movie soundtracks, performed at the Olympic Games and the opening of the Israeli Knesset. Today, Hava Nagila is recognizable all over the world. It is performed at Jewish holidays and school events, at peace festivals and open-air concerts. It is easy to get caught up in the choir's dance to the rhythm of this song, to feel united with other people, even if you don't know a single word in Hebrew. It unites generations, reminding us of the importance of joy and faith even in difficult times. In Israel, Hava Nagila has become part of the state and cultural identity, and in the world, a symbol of friendship between peoples. The story of Hava Nagila is a story about how a simple melody and a few sincere words can inspire and unite entire nations. The song, born at the intersection of Eastern European traditions and the hopes of Jewish revival in Palestine, has become a universal hymn of joy. Every time Hava Nagila is played, people, regardless of their history, feel how light and strength come to them to live on, despite everything. Thus, music and words become a bridge between the past and the future, between man and man.